Here, going home show, getting a little bit of the dance on. Oh, all right. That's just me, though. That's me, okay? And welcome to Going Home. I'm Craig Young, and we're going to be looking at people, families, ministries, churches, and seeing where God is moving through His people.
The name came from, like, in my spirit, you know, just dancing on the injustice, and dancing on the injustice of child trafficking, dancing on the injustice of depression, eating disorders, low self-image, you know, all those things where they just come to attack and destroy, right? No, we're going to dance on that. We're not going to allow that to take over. So since me starting, I've actually got staff now. So I have teachers that come in and they teach the technique of dance so that the children can dance safely or pursue it as, you know, in a deeper way, you know, the actual art of dance.
I think all that's left now is just a class for me to instruct the worm.
I wanna shout it out from every rooftop sing.
Welcome to the Going Home Show. Call your friends, gather around, get the family together. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna spend some time together today. A guest here, Tracy Woywood. Thank you so much for coming by and just allowing us to have a bit of a peek in your world and what's happening. So tell us a little bit, how did you get into the ministry that you're part of now?
So I was working in the church office doing the bulletins and all those things that secretaries do, which we appreciate so much, so much. And the Lord started to speak to me about an area of my life and my worship that I had let go, and that was dance.
Wow.
At first I thought, well, it's okay, right? Like it's just me and Him, and really that's what He was speaking to me about. He wasn't speaking to me about teaching dance or opening a school. He just said, why don't you go into that auditorium that's completely empty almost every day of the week and just put some music on and worship with me again like you used to. And I was a little taken aback and kind of a little bit embarrassed, actually. There was a bit of pride involved. You know, I'm in my 40s, and I thought, oh, that seems a bit ridiculous. But he didn't let up, you know, and so eventually one day I spoke to the pastors and I said, listen, this is what's going on for me. So if I go in there and the music's on, I don't want you coming in. I don't want anybody ever seeing me, you know, dance, right?
Getting your worship on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was just a bit of, you know, it just seemed a little bit bizarre, even though I do trust the Lord. Anyway, so I started to just do that almost daily because just the presence of the Lord was so beautiful as I worshiped Him in movement again.
So Tracy, tell me a little bit more, how did it all transpire into a school?
Okay, so from there, for me actually stepping out on a Sunday morning, I had some parents approach me about possibly teaching. And I thought, well, I'm the secretary of the church. Yeah. Do you know, like I danced as a girl. I danced and I had a little bit of teaching experience. Danced, you know, led little worship teams in other churches. But the actual thought of teaching a child how to dance was extremely intimidating to me, you know. So through a lot of prayer and just some things that happened, the Lord really confirmed it. We decided to, you know, really make it an official school in the month of January. Okay. And so I remembered it was January 8th that we decided, you know, okay, yeah, we're going to plunge into this. My friend Sandy Lockhart was really instrumental in just sort of saying, go for it, you know, just do this. And so I did up the registration forms and, you know, kind of put it out there. And by January 21st, which was our first class, we had over 65 students registered.
So you started this group of just kids wanting to come together and learn dance and be able to worship in this way. talk to us a little bit about some of the breakdown of these different classes and what they look like.
So, well, it did progress. So the school has just kept growing and growing. I have a passion for excellence as well. So I feel that it's very important. I love worship. But the reason I can do what I do is because of the training that I've had. So since me starting, I've actually got staff now. So I have teachers that come in and they teach the technique of dance so that the children can dance safely or pursue it as, you know, in a deeper way, you know, the actual art of dance. Because a musician, the same thing. They can go anywhere in music if they've been trained well. It's the same in dance. So I have a real passion for proper training. And so the kids have their, you know, they have their training classes, and then I offer a worship class as an option for kids who want to just experience that aspect. I personally love creating pieces. It's like painting a painting. So I'll take a piece of music. We're actually performing one on Sunday. I put on Christ, and we'll take the music and we'll see movements, and then we'll put it together, and it just becomes like a prophetic declaration physically of, you know, scripture or God's heart. And then I have a whole program for kids with special needs. So I actually currently am teaching 3 classes. And that's, I mean, I personally now in the whole dance area, I'm teaching my little teeny tiny ones. Then I teach my beautiful kids with special needs. They're just awesome.
So that class blew us away. when Bella and I went to the recital, and just being able to see just the joy, the joy of the Lord. Like it was just, it was just such
awesome,
a neat
isn't
thing.
it? Yeah. Nice.
Okay, so Dance on It. Tell us a little bit about the name. How did, where did that come from?
Well, I've always loved the, just the whole concept of dancing on injustice.
Okay.
And there's actually, there's several songs, and I know Delirious did a song speaking on dancing on injustice, and just basically, you know, coming at the enemy with joy, you know, like, hey, you know what? Forget it. Forget about it. You know, our eyes are on the King.
That's
We're not even talk to the hand. You know. So that's, I mean, that's really where the name came from, like in my spirit. You know, just dancing on the injustice, and dancing on the injustice of child trafficking, dancing on the injustice of depression, eating disorders, low self-image. You know, all those things where they just come to attack and destroy. Right? No, we're going to dance on that. We're not going to allow that take over. Yeah.
I can see that gets you fired up. That really, like,
I know, it's awesome. So that was in my spirit before, but it was kind of an interesting little journey. I was at the hospital. My daughter had just a routine tonsils out, and so I was in the waiting room, and I met a woman who had cancer, and through talking, she didn't, I don't think she knew Jesus. I'm pretty sure she didn't, but she allowed me to pray with her. And after I prayed with her, she told me this little story. She said, you know, she said, when I first got cancer, I was really worried and really, really afraid. And she said, my doctor, she says, told me to go home and put music on in my living room and just to dance on that cancer. And when she said that, I mean, I tell you, my hair on the back of my arms, I was just like, I looked at her, and because we had this conversation, it was actually just about a week before the school was to open, and I said, you know, I'm starting this dance school, and I looked at her and I said, that's the name of my dance school. And we both just started to weep. It was very powerful, you know? So that's where the name, and I felt like the Lord just said, there, right there, there's the name. You can't call it anything else. So that's how it came to me. Isn't that cool?
Come on now.
I know.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that church just has really struggled with the whole art thing, and where to sort of place it in, and how do we, you know, what is, you know? Yeah,
I mean, definitely. I think what happens is with dance, you know, painting, whatever's the artistic expression, let's put it that way, I think it presses every religious button that we have. And so for me, it was really getting over, you know, actually this is an engagement with the spirit. Like when I could not do what I do on my own. I mean, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But if I just lay myself down and say, Lord, you come and you do it through me, then, and it's an amazing thing, whether it's personal, whether it's corporate.
Yeah.
And so, and I always think with dance too, and I teach this to my dance team. I have a group of youth that I work with, and we will worship together on Sunday mornings together. But I tell them that, you know, when you are worshiping in dance, you are transparent. So it's really letting go of a performance mentality, and you see it in musicians as well. It's like, no, we have to lay ourselves down, engage with the Spirit, and then He comes. He takes over, and that's all you see. I mean, that's always my prayer. God, let me just be a reflection of you, so that they don't even see me.
Yeah.
They see Him in it, you know.
Yeah.
Up, down, down. The other leg. Up, up.
So Tracy, share with us a bit about just some of the things that you've learned in this journey and that you've seen just in this journey.
Well, one of the things that the Lord is really speaking to me about is teaching women or individuals. I just haven't had a lot of experience with men in my school yet, which I believe will happen, but just about the value that God places on your life. And for myself personally, I was trained in dance from a young age and developed eating disorders and depression issues through mental illness, right? And praise God, you know, He's delivered me from all of that. And I feel like the fact that, you know, I think this happens in life. The very thing that you struggle with, if you really give it over to the Lord, He actually ends up taking that really difficult part of your life, where it was really, really hard. He redeems it and He refines it, and it comes forth as gold. And so now I often joke with people. I say, you know, it's funny, it's hilarious to me that I suffer from depression, because now I walk like I really don't know anybody who walks in joy like I do, you know. I mean, not as a pride thing, because it's all God, you know, but He really has redeemed that part of my life. And so out of that, I have a real passion to lead people into that place of freedom.
So you have a group that you work with that specifically.
Yeah, well, I've done several workshops. I call them Dancing with the King.
Okay.
And generally, I just invite whoever wants to comes, you know. But I've really seen, especially for women, I think there's really something in them when they start to move. Things get really broken off. They get healed. They receive healing, you know, from the Lord.
So there we go. A going home show. Do you feel your heart? Is it tender? Is it good? It's awesome. Thank you so much, Tracy Woywood, for being able to come by here and share with us just the whole dance and what's going on. I have one last question. Question is, Tracy, where are you going?
I'm going home.